here's what we got here. We've been having, that's a Auburn positive traction carrier for a 12-bolt rear. We have, let's open this up here. I forgot how, one-handed is kind of hard to do. You got that?
I don't know.
This is my buddy, Bob Von Ronten. How do you say your name?
How long have you known me?
Von, I can't ever say it. It's a damn German name. What do you want from me?
I went for freaking Italian.
Well, Italian Italians. All right. This is my ring and pinion. It's a 373. And the reason why it's like this is because we've had nothing but trouble from National Gear, what is it? National Gear's online. Is that? Oh, they did leave the. I thought they didn't have that.
So.
My fault. Okay, but he said not to use it.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Tell him to go to hell.
We had issues, several issues with this, right, Bob?
Yeah, the guys are all assholes.
Well, they sent us the wrong parts, so it was a complete nightmare. Fundamentally, this is a 12-bolt rear, and the Auburn carrier is a 3-point carrier, and they sent us 4.0 ring gears and pinion gears, and they didn't tell us. They screwed up.
What it is that a 373 rear normally from the factory was set up to go on a 3 Series carrier, and
right.
The gears they sent were special gears. They were designed to work with a 4 Series carrier, and that would have been great if they sent us a 4 Series carrier, but they sent us a 3 Series carrier with special gears that were designed to work.
What else did they do? What else did they send us that was wrong?
Well, let's see, the bolts were too long, so they ended up jamming up before the proper torque had been accomplished. The seal was wrong on the pinion, and it went into the housing, but when I went,
So this has been the nightmare from hell.
I told you that virtually every shim you'll ever see is going to be about 30 thousandths.
Right.
How much you see on there?
28. It was 28.
Okay, well, okay. When I first did it, it said 30. I guess I was pinching down on it. Let me see if I can zero it. Okay, zeroed. Okay, there you go.
30 thousandths.
Yeah, they're almost always 30 thousandths. In any way, to make any real difference on the pinion depth, you got to take a pretty good whack at things. You're not going to do it with 2 or 3 thousandths. You got to be up like 4 or 5 thousandths before you see anything different in the pattern. So 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, you're going to get away with using the 30 thousandth shim.
Okay.
There are special tools that you can use that are pinion depth gauges and stuff like that, which obviously, in the greater scheme of things, are probably the best way to do it. But flat rating a little bit, just check your pattern.
Check the pattern. All right. We've been at this for quite a while because National Gear keeps sending us the wrong parts. Hopefully we've got all the parts this time, and we're going to get this damn rear differential all put together. I had originally painted this all up. It looked okay, but apparently after rolling it through the paces, trust me, all that pretty paint is gone. So I'm gonna have to sand it all down and redo it, but we've got it. We've cleaned this rear end as much as we can clean it. I don't see anything in there. Spent a lot of time cleaning it. Right off the bat, we had a problem right here. I'm telling you, some people are just idiots. What they did is they glued the rear cover on, and then they glued the top of a bolt covering that because they had busted the bolt inside of that rear. So believe it or not, that took us what? How many hours did it take us to get that damn bolt out of there, Bob?
Too long.
Nightmare, nightmare. Everybody who says that a rear's a 1, 2, 3 thing, bullshit. But we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna turn this thing off for the moment, and then we'll come back later and see how things work out. By the way, Bob Differential, there he is. He's one of our street riders here in Burtonsville. You've gone to my buddy Bill's webpage, YouTube page, and he's another Burtonsville street rodder. And let me just show you some of the stuff that Bob works on. Bob's working on this beautiful, what was this, a 1968 Mustang GT convertible?
Yeah, it's been rewired. It's got a fast.
Take a look at this back. Take a look at this baby.
It's got a stroker 331 motor in it. It's got an electronic overdrive transmission. We got into changing it to the Borgeson steering
Let me see
system.
if I can adjust this camera a little bit.
And we decided that the water pump looked like it needed to be renewed. So we're waiting on the water pump right now.
That's today's project. Okay, and you put that, see you got a new air conditioning system sitting off to the side here, and the air conditioning compressor.
Yeah, it's had quite a bit of stuff done. It's got a vintage air system on it.
Well, let's take a look at the car. I mean, this thing's actually a beauty. See if I can pop this thing back out. It's a lovely 68 Mustang GT. I don't know, I have to get around the lift here. Bob's got a really nice garage here. It's got just about everything you can think of. Look at that beautiful interior.
Hey, look at this bearing they sent you back. Not only is the outside of the race scarred up from them removing it, but right there you can see a nick in the bearing. This thing needs a new bearing now. Thank you to your...
Does it really need a new bearing?
I'm not going to put this in. It's not worth trashing everything.
I'll have to call them up. So there's, function is currently not available. What the hell is going on? All right. Turn off. What the hell is going on? Anyway, let me finish showing these people this Mustang. She's absolutely gorgeous. I wonder, I can't seem to get it.
Yeah, it doesn't take much on these rollers, Kerry. I can't put this thing in and promise you this thing's not going to screw up. I knew that was going to happen, taking this thing back off. I knew they were going to screw it up.
Well, I have a problem dealing with National Gear. They have made my life miserable. Plus, they took $800 from me. I mean, so far, we've got new axles, we got new ring, new pinion, we got the new Auburn positive traction carrier. I mean, it gets ridiculous after a while. It ends up making it very expensive to convert. And you know what? The thing is, I have a 68, 69 12-bolt ring and pinion, but I was afraid because it had a little surface rust on it. You know what I mean? Everybody's always telling you how don't use a ring and pinion when a ring gear and a pinion gear with a little surface rust, but I honestly think this one's clean enough where it could be cleaned. Isn't that a pretty Mustang? That's just an absolutely gorgeous car. Yeah. What's the name of this guy? I forgot his name now, Bob. Yale. Yale comes down to Burtonsville all the time too, so this car's one of the standard weekly ride, cruise cars down there, and Bob's done a whole lot of work on it, from the wiring to the air conditioning to everything, practically. Let me see if that, I don't even see the vintage air unit. Where is that unit?
All right, Hollywood, we got to go. Let's go get a bearing.
All right, buddy, let me shut this thing down. Talk to you later. So we're going to use the 30,000s? Okay.
Well, we got a nice press at work. We should have had something like what we had at work.
Well, I think you got a nice one there. It's 20 ton.
He's got like it's a air over hydraulic.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It's like a
hit your foot on it hits your foot on that pump switch and it pumps up the hydraulic system for you. Yeah. You can actually get a lot of those air over hydraulic pumps on Craigslist. They're not all that bad. I've seen them used for $50, $100.
Yeah, if I thought about it, I would have showed you what he had. It's got gauges on it, like right now. I can feel the extra pressure that I put on it when I get to the bottom.
Right.
But it'll have a gauge to tell you
how much it is. Yeah. Alrighty, so we got this thing pressed on. How's she look? Let me take a quick look at this. That's about right. Look at that. All right. Okay.
Sure about all the packing, throw the stuff all over the site.
Okay.
All right, you can see how the paint stuff is transferred onto the gear, and then there's actually some on the backside too. I don't know how well it picks up on the picture, but basically what we're seeing is a nice little pattern dead in the center of the gears. It's not running off each end. So we're good as far as the pinion depth, and that's with the 30 thousandths factory shim that we took out of the other rear that everybody told us that wasn't the proper way to do it. So anyway, I get it. I know I flat rated it, but it looks like we got a nice pattern here despite the fact that I flat rated it.
Flat rated it? Is that what you call that?
That's what I called it.
Well, look, you're probably one of the best mechanics that I know of, and that's why I came to you for help. I'd never done this before.
It's got a real pretty pattern. What we need to do now is get the crush sleeve back in there and button it all up, make sure that we've got the backlash set 100%, and recheck this, make sure it still looks just as pretty when we're done.
Yeah, so we're going to pull it apart now.
Yep.
Move put the shims to the side. Okay, gotcha. We'll do that. Okay, we're now at the process of selecting shims. We got it close. We had it within 3 thousandths before already. So we pulled the, I guess it would be the driver's side shims out of the rear, so that we're going to have to make that a hair smaller with a combination of shims. You're only going to try to do it with 2 shims, right? Right, Bob?
No, this is actually a combination of shims so that we can get to something that's just ever so slightly thinner than what the factory shim was. We had it really close with just the factory shims, which I thought was a little weird, but in fact, more than weird, it's really close, but we're after perfection here, so, and as much as I like flat rating things, there's certain things you got to pay attention to, and getting the backlash in these things is pretty important. And you can take and play with these things a little bit, but I think I'm going to need my camera holders person to help me here.
All right, I'm going to have to set this down. I'll do it. You got the caps, right? Yeah. What was it? Was it 25 foot-pounds on the caps? I can't remember.
That's more than that. I don't remember offhand.
50.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But we can check it. It'll basically, if I snug it down, we'll be good enough we can check everything with, because right now it doesn't matter what the final thing is.
Now the crush sleeve's been put in. That's tight. We've got, what would you call it? What do you call it? Backlash on the pinions there. We've got good clearance on the teeth. Now we're gonna.
So obviously we got something there. That feels a little tight still, so we may end up having to get back into this, but that's all right.
All right, where's the dial indicator?
I don't know.
There it is. Set that bad boy on. I can't do this one hand, buddy.
Well, you need to put. Digging for it. You can't You can't change the shims in the axle in place. You gotta have to put the axle. Check it. Yeah, you can go over it. All right, let's paint the pattern again.
Alright, bud.
Take this off.
We'll get the metallic here on.
And actually, since we're exuding confidence, you can probably torque this because I think everything we have.
Yeah, I caught this dial indicator on eBay. It's a foul.
All right, hold the rear while I torque. You know what, it's giving me bolt sizes and what you torque things to, and that's a 7/16 bolt, it's 60/65. It doesn't say what for, it just gives you bolt sizes, and it's appropriate tightness. That's it. Remember we did that on twice. Okay, so, let's just spin it, make sure we're not, because what it'll do is if it's wrong, it'll show us things right now. All we gotta do is run through that paint one more time and it'll all of a sudden tell you something different. It's like you're changing,
You got that back?
well, you can't judge it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, and now we're going to make it about, do about 6 times around because the springer goes twice. I don't see anything wrong here. You can see the pattern is well done. It's been over it. Yep. And you really don't see it any better than that. No, you really, they don't. What you worry about is going forward now. Look at the way the pattern shows on here.
Well, that's why you might want to send a 12,000 back, backlash, so that you're not hitting it.
You don't want it to run off each end. See how they go here? Basically, they're showing it right at the edge on the pattern here. But what they're not showing is not the edge on the top and bottom. And that's what you want. You've got a nice center pattern there.
Okay, guys, let me bring this video back up here.
I mean, you can see just a little grinding imperfection right there from when they produced it, but that's nothing to worry about, that little yellowish line. But as you can see, it's a nice oval through the center of each gear. And it's consistent on both the back and the front. And this is where we painted it, but when you run through the paint, it drags it onto other gears. And you can see where the paint's been transferred onto other gears. And even that's all nicely in the center of all the gears. You're not, you know, trailing it or leading it. So we're looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good. So we've got
Ship it.
We've got the shims in that we've put in. We've got
All
the
right.
caps all torqued down. We've got our backlash between 10 and
No, it's 10. It is 10.
Right. 10. What is it? 10 thousandths?
Yeah, 10 thousandths of an
Right.
inch.
Right.
And your backlash was actually, what was the backlash on this thing? It was,
On the pinion you're talking about. Can't remember now.
I don't either, but it was within.
I believe it was 25 inch pounds.
No, you're thinking about the drag.
The drag, yeah.
I don't know. Shut that thing off,
All right.
I'm looking stupid.
No, you're not. That's mine.
Okay, well, we're going to start with the original axle that we just test fit and works fine. And we can see that it measures out at 310 thousandths, or what, 311 thousandths thickness right here.
Right.
Now, if I bring it over to the new piece of crap axle that you bought, would come up with what measurement now?
334,000.
So because this thing is about 22 thousandths too thick, it's not allowing the pin to go back in the rear for the differential spider gears. And you've got to figure out whether or not you want me to do some sort of hatchet job of grinding the tip of this axle.
Thank you.
Or send it back and have them figure out.
Well, I'm going to give them a call. I'll give them a call on Monday, and we'll figure it out. But that's just one more thing that National Gear
has fucked up,
has screwed up, has messed up for us. If you can take a look at the thickness of the new, that's the new axle right there. And if you take a look at the thickness of the original axle that came with the car. The problem is the pin can clear with this axle, but with this axle, the pin is actually hitting the edge, and it won't go through. It won't seat itself. So, I guess I'm gonna have to make another phone call to National Gear and find out what the hell is going on. And this particular axle, so everybody knows, is a 10 factory motive gear axle from Chicago, Illinois. It even has its, I believe, its website. Doesn't fit 12-bolt Chevy, Chevelle, 69 Chevelle rear end. So what can I say? It only doesn't fit by a few thousandths of an inch. But that's all it takes. All right, bud. I'll get back at you. This is Kerry. When we get this 12-bolt rear from hell installed. Talk to you later, guys. Okay, we've got the rear completed now, but it wasn't an easy process. At the end, again, we purchased these new axles from National Gear, and there was supposed to be for a 12-bolt GM 69 Chevelle rear, and it was too long. The axles were too long. Not by much. We were talking about a few thousandths of an inch, but as you can see, if you look really close in there, that pin right there, that pin is supposed to come out so that you can slide the axle forward, take the C-clip out, and then pull the axle out. When we put the Auburn gear in, the Auburn differential and the Richmond gear in, and did all the checking and measuring and adjusting and getting the backlash and all that just right, what we found was when we slid the axle back in, we couldn't put the pin in. It was too long. And we were just shaking our head, and I mean, it should have worked. So we put the factory axle back in, and the pin went in perfectly. So when I then called up National Gear, and they said, well, you've got a high performance axle, and it's aftermarket, and you should, some of them need to be adjusted. And he said, grind the ends of the axle. So that's what we did. Right in there, on both sides, we had to grind it just a couple of thousandths. And let's see here. That's the play you have on this side, which is hardly any. You don't have any play on this side. Yeah, but it's not rubbing the pin, so I'm assuming everything's going to be okay as a result. I'm hoping. But everything else seems all right. We got the little backlash in there, which is what you're supposed to have. The factory says 8 to 12 thousandths. We've got 10 thousandths, backlash in there, which is not that bad. The caps are in, the new bearings are in, everything's torqued down. It should be good to go. I'm going to have to repaint the axle now and put a new cover on it and throw it into the Chevelle. So, anyway, it's been a learning experience. And thanks to my buddy, Bob, we got it done. You know, I couldn't have done it by myself, I can tell you that. Well, I can now, but I couldn't before. No, I'm not, Bob. Gee, Jiminy Cricket. That's it. Thank you much, guys. You all take care.